Hello everyone, and welcome to this review of the Sluban Battle of Kursk set. This is set number M38 B0697. Just a heads up everyone, if you guys are into this military type Lego, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and visit my website www.sharkmunch.com for more great reviews on all this military Lego. I've been reviewing tons of tanks, and now I'm kind of onto the Sluban line here. So just a bit of background. I was shopping on AliExpress for tanks, and I came across this Sluban Battle of Kursk set, and it looked really cool. I had seen a few tanks. In fact, I've reviewed a few tanks from the Sluban line. They're pretty decent. I mean, they're not as great as some of the other ones that I reviewed, but overall they're not bad. And what I really like about Sluban is like the quality of their bricks is actually pretty good. I read some reviews a few weeks back or a few years ago, how way back in 2010 stuff like that, their bricks were crap. Tons of product quality issues. I'm here to tell you guys there's none of that today. I've ordered a ton of from this Sluban line of the World War II bricks and all their different sets. Battle of Stalingrad, Kursk. I got all their tanks, aircraft. They have like a Messerschmitt 109, which is really cool. A Tu-2 bomber. Yeah, so they got a lot of cool stuff. I've built it all. I've received it all, and number one, I just want to say not one single piece missing. And that's huge because typically, I mean, you get something from Kazi or this Kwangwon stuff. You might be missing a couple of pieces. Sluban, not one single piece missing. The brick quality is just as good as any of the other Chinese brick makers like Goody, Kazi, and all those guys, Lepin, what have you. So I have no issues with their product quality. It comes with all the pieces. The instructions are really great. They're easy to read. They're intelligible, easy to follow. Yeah, so that's just kind of my spiel on where Sluban's at in terms of product quality versus, say, 10 years ago when they had a bunch of issues. All right, so I came across this set while I was shopping for tanks. It looks so cool. You know, I know a lot about the Second World War. I used to read up tons about it. And it was just really cool to me that somebody decided to make a play set out of the Battle of Kursk. This set comes with 998 pieces, 9 minifigures, World War II era weapons, and as you can see, it's just a huge set. I mean, it comes with so many different cool vehicles. So it's great. I mean, buy it, build it, and you can have your own little war that afternoon, basically. You got the German side, you got the Russian side. Yeah, it's a really great set. I can't say enough good things about this set. Does it have every single thing you would want in a set? No, but the cost of this is about probably $30 to $35 US. So, I mean, the value is definitely there. Yeah, so I just want to get into a little bit of historical background. The Battle of Kursk, in case you guys don't know, it was like basically one of the largest battles in history, and for sure was the biggest tank battle in history. Millions of soldiers, German soldiers, Soviet, Russian soldiers, thousands of tanks. I think the Germans fielded like 2,500 tanks or something like that. The Russians probably the same amount or maybe a bit more. So you got like upwards of about 5,000 tanks. And that's not including all the anti-tank guns, self-propelled artillery, tank destroyers. Like, it was just a massive battle on a front of like, I don't know, I think it was like 100, 200 miles or something crazy like that. Entire armies were fighting this fight. It lasted, I don't know, maybe 2 months or something like that. And basically the Germans were trying to continue to advance into the Soviet Union after their massive defeat at the Battle of Stalingrad. Interestingly enough, Sluban also makes a Battle of Stalingrad playset that I'll be reviewing shortly. Yeah, so the Germans lost the Battle of Stalingrad uh, that winter, and it was springtime. They wanted another offensive to try to make that final push, take the oil fields to the south of Russia, maybe some more industrial land, and move on Moscow. That was their they're trying to do a Hail Mary to win the big fight against the Russians. Well, that didn't work. They delayed too long. They were waiting for newer, more powerful tanks that could take on the Soviet T-34s and KV style tanks and what have you. And that delay was costly. It gave the Russians plenty of time to dig in. They built impressive like defensive fortifications, anti-tank ditches, minefields, barriers, barbed wires, like you name it. So much so that on the very first day or first week even of battle, the Germans were only able to advance like a few miles. The Russians had prepared like a textbook case of defense in depth, and it just stopped the Germans in their tracks. Um, and in the midst of all of that, you had just a massive armored clash at Kursk. Hundreds, thousands of tanks and stuff. It was just insane. Um, and even like tanks that were knocked out, like if you blew their treads off, like the Russians would steal the German tanks, the Germans would steal the Russian. So you had like T-34s with German army insignia, and you had Russian like Panzer fours and Tiger tank. It just total chaos. I just cannot imagine what it must have been like for the soldiers to fight like that. It's just the world has seen nothing like this ever since. It was just massive. So I'm gonna move on. The Germans defeated. The Germans were defeated at Kursk, and that was basically the end of the war for them. From then on, the Germans they never regained the initiative in the Second World War, and they were just basically fighting a war like they were doing kind of like a defensive, a fighting retreat, fighting withdrawal. That ultimately ended in their defeat in the Second World War. And a big part of that was they've lost entire armies on the Eastern Front. Like in the West, we know a lot about D-Day and bombing campaigns over Germany and stuff like that. But the sad truth, the sad reality is that millions upon millions of German soldiers, tens of thousands of tanks, artillery, tens of thousands of aircraft, everything were really tied up fighting the Russians. And, in our history books, we sometimes miss that fact. By comparison, the war in the West might have encompassed maybe a few, I don't know, maybe 10 German divisions. I mean, the war on the Eastern Front, you're talking like 100 German divisions. It was just at like the scale of the fighting is just incomprehensible. It's just massive. If you guys don't know anything about the war on the Eastern Front, find a history book, Google it, read up on this stuff. It's just total craziness. Anyways, I want to get on to the instructions here. Just to flip through, I've reviewed enough of these Sluban sets now, guys. I'm just going to show you some of these instructions. I get some good light. This is the instruction booklet. You're building about 9 vehicles. I'll open it up here. You got your minifigures. Comes with like 9 minifigures. A little keychain, little brick separator, all kinds of little things. I'll get into all this stuff, but I just want to kind of like flip through. You're building so many different things. None of it's a really hard build. None of this is really hard or super challenging. I always say kids under 10 will probably need a parent to kind of help them out, follow the instructions. But overall, guys, this is really the quality of the printing and instructions it's really great. There's no question. It tells you all the pieces, how many of them you need, where they go. You can see the previous pieces you put on the previous page. I mean, they're all kind of grayed out. Current pieces in use that you're building with are in color. This is the Jeep here. This is like the little bunker that you're going to be building. I don't want to bore you guys too much with the instructions. You guys get the idea. I've kind of gone on rambling about the battle. So this is the airplane, and that's kind of what you get with this. So High quality instructions, easy to follow, definitely Lego-like instructions. I'll move that stuff out of the way. And let's talk about brick quality. I mentioned it in the intro. Their brick quality is just phenomenal. It's safe, non-toxic, eco-friendly plastic. It's ABS plastic, same stuff that Lego's built out of. The build time to build this set, you're looking at for sure a few hours. You know, build it in the morning, play in the afternoon, or build it in the afternoon, play the next day or that evening, whatever. A few hours anyways. You're building a lot of different things. So you could even just take your time, build the Jeep, build the plane, or build the tank. You build one, it's the set is just like amazing. There's definitely lots of value here, guys. So let's get into what's included in this set. Well, first off, you have this over here. I'll set that front and center. That is a machine gun bunker. You can see you got your machine gun there. You got a guy on top. He's holding like a light machine gun. You got some foliage, some trees, tree branches and whatnot as a little bit of camouflage and stuff. So that's the first thing that you will get and build with this set. I'm going to put this one back. The second thing, one of the cool things I like about this is it comes with, this is an anti-aircraft gun. It's like the German 88. The gun itself goes up and down. So the German 88s, they had two types of shells. You could fire flak at aircraft, or you could put an anti-tank round and use it as an anti-tank gun. I really like that Sluban included this model in this set. It is really cool. The legs here are kind of like flimsy, but overall it's not bad. This does rotate 360. It's a little stiff, and these little legs might kind of come off, but anyways, you guys get the idea. Rotates, and there you have it. So really cool. Like, I mean, it has all the little wheels to raise and lower the gun, to rotate the platform and stuff like that. And it even comes with this here. This is a little crate with like shells that you will use. Probably anti-tank or flak shells. And this is one of the minifigures. This guy here is a little German guy who operates this gun. So I'm just going to put this back. There's just so much stuff to get into with this, guys. And you get lots of stuff. Like, I think there's like 9 sandbags that come with it. So there's some. One of the cool things that you get is, it's just a small thing. You get this little guy here, and it's like a mortar pit. And I got this shell over here, and it's really, really cool. I want to show this to you guys. I'm going to move these sandbags. This is the mortar. You just kind of build it. Yeah, there's a little spring inside. You guys won't be able to see that spring, but I'm actually going to fire this mortar shell. So you put this thing in, and you just press down and let it go. And there it goes. Now it can go much further than that. If you push it down further, it will like literally launch like 10 feet or something like that. So it comes with a few spare shells. I think you get about 4 of these things. But it's just a really cool, like, this is what I mean, guys. This, like, all these little details, all these features and stuff like that really enhance the quality of the set and the play. You know, this would be an awesome set to play with. Everything, like, things move. You have mortars that fire. You have, you know, tanks and aircraft, jeeps and stuff like that. The next thing that you guys get is this, it's like a German motorcycle with a sidecar. No one's in the sidecar, but you got this guy here driving it. Hans, I'll call him. He's cruising around this motorcycle. And that's about all it does. Maybe a little reconnaissance. I know the Germans used often like motorcycles and that for reconnaissance. Maybe this guy's doing a little recce before the battle. I mentioned too, okay, we saw the sandbags here. You get lots of those. I think 9 of those. And these are kind of like little barriers. You get your, you know, barbed wire. I gotta stop moving. So it's really, really neat. It's really, you get lots of stuff here. I'm just gonna kind of move this stuff out of the way, guys, over to the side. Okay, the next thing you guys get is this thing right here, and it is a Russian artillery gun. I'm not really sure the caliber. Let's say it's a 105 millimeter. The Russians had huge guns in the Second World War, so it's probably easily a 105 millimeter gun. You got this little minifigure to operate it. I'll just kind of turn it sideways here so you guys can see. Overall, not bad. I mean, the gun, I think the gun raises and lowers. Let me just try it here. Yeah, it can go up. And it can also move, depress. So you could have it like that, or if you want to move it up, it goes all the way up or down. So overall, the range is pretty good on this thing. What I don't like about this is I reviewed the Sluban German half-track, and that came with an artillery piece. The gun, like the barrel assembly in that, is really, really kind of fragile. This one, not so much, but on that one it was. But what I liked about that one was these here were like really solid, and as you guys can see here, these are like really flimsy. It's hard for them to kind of stay put in one position. They often go down like that, so if you want to fire your artillery, you'll have to like raise it or whatever. Anyways, it's a small thing, but it is a thing nonetheless that I want to mention about this. I'm gonna move this guy back. Okay, the next thing I want to show you guys is this Jeep. Now you can actually buy this Jeep separately. It doesn't come with this gun part, which is really the main reason why you'd want to buy this Jeep. Anyways, it retails, I don't know, I think it's around $10 US or something like that, $8 US. But anyway, so you get this guy. This guy must be like the Russian commander. It's a Jeep, you know, cool looking. Looks like one. The window, there you go. You can have the window down, or you could have the windshield up. It doesn't really matter. The cool thing about this is definitely this gun, and I want to show you guys, this is what makes this playset really neat. You have a mortar that really fires. Well, here you have, it must be like a little grenade launcher that actually fires. I just want to show you guys this. I'll try to shoot it so you guys can see. You just press it up there and that little thing flies off. Just, again, it's just one little, it's a small feature, but these features, they're what make this set really cool. Okay, guys, I'm going to move this back over here. And the next thing that you're getting, I believe this is like an IL-2 fighter bomber. Oh, I just want to grab it. So here's the top view, side view. You have this, I'll just set this thing down. So you have this little machine gun in back, propeller, fully rotates. On the bottom you have landing gear that does nothing. It doesn't, it doesn't like recess into the wings or anything like that. The landing gear is fixed, doesn't move. You got your pilot. Oh, I just broke a little piece off. You got nice little Russian Red Star stickers on it. You got your quad, I don't know, these 50 caliber or higher, maybe 20 millimeter guns, something like that, in front. And that's what you get. This was a Russian ground attack aircraft. It was used in places like the Battle of Kursk and stuff like that. With mixed results, you know. Some were shot down, probably lots were shot down. They were certainly no match for German fighters like the FW-190, ME-109s. So I'm not really sure how effective they were. They could probably carry some bombs. No bombs come with this. But this, in and of itself, this aircraft is a Sluban set. I forget the Sluban number exactly. But the one that you can buy individually does not have the brown. It's all done in green, and it's the identical exact same aircraft. It retails for roughly $10 US. So yeah, that's what you get. Pretty cool. My son actually just loves this airplane. He really likes it. The next thing that you get, this is also another Sluban set. I think it's 6 B0687. This is a Su-76 tank destroyer. So comes with the tracks. You can see the tracks move on a hard surface. These are the thinner Sluban tracks. I've gone through these on my other videos, particularly about the Panzer IV. You can check out that review. I'm not a huge fan of these thin tracks. They just don't work very well on carpet. I'm not going to bother showing it to you guys on carpet. I kind of showed the Panzer IV, and I got some upcoming reviews about the Sluban Panzer II and BT7 tank that you'll see the tracks in action on the carpet and whatnot. Just know that these really aren't that great. Even on hard surfaces, they're not really that great. They're kind of more for show. You can slide it along the carpet, but I'm not super impressed with them. The gun itself, that's about, let me see how high you can go with this thing. Yeah, that's about, it raises about that much. What's that? I don't know, 45 maybe. And that's about as much. This is a tank destroyer. It does not have a turret that rotates, but this looks pretty historically accurate. You got your fuel drums on the back. You got a sandbag. This engine compartment, I think it opens up. Oh, I broke a piece off. Let's see this thing. Yeah, this kind of opens up, but there's like really nothing down there. Maybe like a storage. Maybe another guy could sit there with like a machine gun or whatnot. So that's what you get. You get the little commander. He doesn't fully fit into this hatch. This hatch opens and closes. It's just kind of really awkward. You could actually had him, I think, holding on to something. Yeah, maybe he can hold on to this thing here or something like that. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. That's your Su-76 tank destroyer. Looks pretty accurate historically. You get some stickers that go on it. This says 0697, which is the model number for this set. The one that you can purchase individually is 687. So, oh yeah, and last but not least, you guys get this cool little palm tree. So that can go over your artillery position or whatnot, provide a little shelter. Overall, this is not a bad set. It's definitely, the value is there. I think I got this for, I got it on sale, and I think I got it for around 27, 28 US dollars. I want to just kind of put that into perspective. This set here retails for probably about 15 to 18 US dollars. This set, you're probably looking at about 10 US dollars. So, I mean, you're at 28 US dollars right there. And then this car, you're looking at 5 to 7 US dollars probably. So these three alone equal the price I paid for this whole thing. And look what else you get. You get the 88, you get an artillery piece, you get the mortar position, a bunker, all this stuff. Really cool. You get the Jeep that actually fires something. You get this the cool kind of camouflage Illusion 2 ground attack aircraft, and then you get this set here. So the value's there. If you guys can afford it, if you guys can swing it, I would definitely go with this set, especially if you don't have any of these other sets. Yeah. So there you have it, guys. That is my kind of long-winded review of the Sluban Battle of Kursk set, but it was a huge set. It's definitely worth talking about, taking the time, looking at everything, so you guys know what you're buying, so you know what you get, so you know what kind of value this set will provide. So once again, guys, I'm reviewing tons of this military Lego. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and visit my website, www.sharkmunch.com, for more great reviews and where to buy all this cool stuff.